What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition. This is week 3 of college football, and welcome to another edition of The Opinion. I have mine. What is yours? And this week, we're breaking down 5 matchups again within college football, and I'm going to give you my opinion on who's going to win and why they're going to win. And if you missed my video from last week, definitely check the description in this video, and then you're also going to see a video link for my last week's video of week 2 predictions in the video towards the end. So last week, out of the 5 games that we discussed, I went 4-1, and the only one I got wrong was USC. So kudos to USC for proving me wrong. So hey, that's a pretty good record, 4-1. You guys definitely want to keep tuning in because I'm not going to be wrong very much. I'm just telling you that right now. So let's get right into it this week. Let's start off with Friday night. So I guess college football, because the NFL dominates Thursdays, I've noticed that college football so far, they have moved some of their games to Friday, which is probably a smart strategy for them because the NFL is not doing anything on Fridays. So let's get right into it. I believe this game is coming to you at 8 p.m. Central Time. Washington State at Houston. This game's coming to you Friday night, Washington State at Houston. And in this game, I got Houston winning this game. And there's a simple reason why. I believe that when Houston lines up against Washington State, see, you have to look at it like this. When Houston lines up against Washington State, they're going to look at players that are no better than themselves. Now, when Houston lined up against Oklahoma, they were looking at players that are a whole lot better than them, and so it may bring their confidence down. But after those first couple of snaps, Houston's going to realize that Washington State's players are no better than their players. The players that Washington State recruits probably aren't that much different from the players that Houston recruits. And Houston's going to be at home. I think De'Aaron King is a very, very good quarterback. He's not the greatest quarterback, but he's probably going to be the fastest quarterback and the most elusive quarterback that Washington State has faced. Also, Washington State this is a very, very quick turnaround because I believe their last game was last Saturday. So this is a very, very quick turnaround to have a game on Friday for Washington State. They're coming halfway across the country, and then Washington's all the way in the north. They're coming all the way to the south, and the game's on a Friday night. And games that are on Thursdays and Fridays, weird things happen. And I know Washington State is ranked, I believe, number 20th in the country. But I think after those first few snaps, Houston's going to realize, hey, these guys are no better than us, and they're at home. And I got Houston to pull off the upset against Washington State. So we'll see. Definitely check on that one. The next game that I have on the docket, Kansas State at Mississippi State. I believe these two teams played either last year or the year before, and Mississippi State absolutely wiped the floor with Kansas State. But hey, it's a new regime in town. I like what Kansas State's doing. Mississippi State, they're 2-0. Kansas State's 2-0. But there's trouble at Mississippi State. I believe they just now got put on sanctions, and I'm actually going to roll with Kansas State on the road in this one. I like what Kansas State's doing. They're coming into this game averaging 6 yards per carry. I know Kansas State hasn't played anybody just yet, but hey, neither has Mississippi State. But hey, out of both teams that hadn't played anybody, Kansas State's probably looked much more impressive. So I've got Kansas State winning this game. It's going to be close, but I got Kansas State winning. I believe Kansas State has the better defense. Their defense is much improved this year, and like I said, they're coming into the game averaging 6 yards per carry. They can give it to either one of their running backs, and both of their running backs are actually averaging over 6 yards per carry. But what brings that average down is probably the quarterback running and some of the other guys that are third and fourth teamers that they basically got in towards the end of the game. So if we just stick with Kansas State's top 2 rushers, one's averaging 6.5 yards a carry and the other is averaging 8 yards per carry. So I think Kansas State wins this game going away. Alabama at South Carolina. Now, I know this really isn't like a big game. I mean, you guys are probably asking me, why do I even have this game on there? I think South Carolina is going to absolutely get mollywopped, and this is going to be another downturn in the Will Muschamp era. And South Carolina, they have a very tough schedule because they're rivals with Clemson. They have to play Clemson. They have to play Georgia because they're in the East, and they have to play Alabama this year. So you're essentially playing the top 3 teams as the rankings currently sit. Right now. And then they also had to play a very good North Carolina team who's 2-0. They're going to have to play Florida at some point later in the season. And no telling who else from the SEC West they have to play. I haven't looked at their full schedule as of right now. Yeah, Will Muschamp, I hope he's able to maintain his job, but it's not looking good for him. And the schedule is very, very tough this year, and their quarterback's out. So I got Alabama winning that one, not even close. Number 19, Iowa versus at Iowa State. Now, Iowa State's very, very tough to play at home, and they've had 2 weeks to prepare for this since going to that triple overtime game versus Northern Iowa, where they barely got out of there. They're very tough. This is a rivalry game. Some people are thinking that Iowa State's going to break the cycle. I believe that they've lost to Iowa now 4 years in a row, 3 years in a row. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Could be more than that. They may break the cycle one day. It's just not going to be Saturday. And so that's the day it's not going to be, not this upcoming Saturday. And I believe that Iowa wins this one because they're only giving up 7 points a game. And I think their defense is going to lead the charge. Who knows what they do offensively? Like I said, Iowa State's very, very good at home. They play the game very, very close. But remember, Iowa's defense, they're only giving up 7 points a game. They shut out Rutgers 30-0, and Iowa's always leaned on their defense. And I think that that's what they do versus Iowa State. I think the game can be close because Iowa State has had a couple of weeks to prepare for the game, whereas Iowa, they're coming into this game after playing Rutgers, so they only got 1 week to prepare for it. So advantage Iowa State in that department, but I think the defense travels, and I think that Iowa State will go down to Iowa in the Hawkeyes, the number 19 ranked Hawkeyes. And then what they're saying is the game of the week, because they're putting this one on ABC at 6:30 Central Time, 7:30 Eastern Time. Number 1, Clemson at Syracuse. I'm just gonna be honest, folks. They're really just trying to hype this game up because Clemson lost at Syracuse the last time they had to go up there and play. And you just remember Kelly Bryant got knocked out in that game. So assuming that Trevor Lawrence doesn't get knocked out, Clemson's gonna win this game. And just like A&M, they're gonna get mollywopped. Like A&M scored a late touchdown in that game, and yeah, it made the score not look as bad as it was, but A&M got mollywopped, as I said they would, by Clemson, and I think Syracuse is going to get done the exact same way. So the TV is just hyping this game. They're trying to build the ratings because, like I said, they lost, a couple of years ago when Syracuse had to go up there. I mean, when Clemson had to go to Syracuse, and I think Syracuse even played them tough last year, but this is a much more experienced team. Clemson has learned from their mistakes, as they showed you with A&M, and I think they're going to go up to Syracuse. And I mean, by halftime, I think a lot of you guys you're probably going to turn from the game, go out to party, or do something else, because I just don't think the game's going to be that close. So in all, I've only got one home team winning out of the 5 games I chose, and that was Houston. The rest of them are road teams. So that's my opinion on the games. Like as I say, everybody has an opinion. What's yours? I want to hear from you. If there's some games I didn't talk about, post it down in the comment section below, and I'll let you know who I think's going to win. But let me know who you think's going to win out of the games that I decided. Hey, if you disagree with me, let me know. I'll definitely respond to you. I'm out of here.